You say hi? You want to say hi? Hi, everyone. Big yawn, baby, big yawn. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Frances, if you didn't already know. And today we're going to be talking about debt, student loan debt specifically as a new grad RN. So I guess I'll just jump right into it. And let's talk about how much my tuition was first and foremost at my school. So I ended up going to a private university because I went to an accelerated program that lasted about 18 months. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember exactly what the tuition was, but I think it was around $50,000 to $52,000 of tuition. And I graduated school with around $40,000 of debt. And the reason why it wasn't the full amount of the tuition is because I had grants and financial aid that pretty much covered around $10,000 of that, which is really, really nice. But I really want to get into student loan debt and how I want to do that journey with you guys. I've been seeing so many budgeting videos. I'm going to be playing with her while we're talking. I've been seeing so many budgeting videos that I absolutely love and have inspired me so much. I'm someone who does not like debt in their name at all. So I went into this program knowing full well that I was going to pay off my debts. And that's always been the plan. I know a lot of people plan on dying with their debts. Literally, someone said that to me. And I cannot fathom because I want a positive net worth, not a negative one. I don't want my credit to be affected by this in a negative way, which those are the consequences to it. And there's more consequences to not paying your debt, and we can go on to that in another day. But today I want to talk about my specific debt and everything that's kind of happened so far. I've graduated in the end of July. July 27th was my graduation date, and I started working in October 6th because, passing the NCLEX takes time, and then once you get a job, it takes typically a few months before you can go into the next cohort. I am currently in a nurse residency program. So with that being said, let's talk about how my debt journey has been as of right now. It is December 2020. It is December 2025, and I have brought my debt down to, I believe, $30,000 already. So let's talk about that. So I graduated with around $40,000 of student debt, and originally it was $30,000, but apparently my school didn't bill me properly, so I never got loans taken out for the additional like 9,900 and whatever it was. So yeah, 40,000 is what I ended up leaving school with. And so I had two different loan lenders. So I have Sally Mae, good old Sally Mae, the one that everybody talks about. So I wrote this nice little folder down. And so my loans from Sally Mae, with interest accumulating, of course, that's how they make their money, right, is through the interest, was $15,526.37. That was my Sally Mae loan. And that loan had an interest rate of 14%, which is super, super high. But I chose that because it was a fixed rate versus the variable rate, which kind of scared me more because I was really scared that it was going to go higher than 14%. But yeah, so that was the first one. My second one is through Ed Financial, which is, I found them through, girl, I found them through financial aid, like the FAFSA website, and I owe them approximately $16,218.74. And the last one that I owe the school, which actually, so they deferred they deferred the remainder of what I owed them, which again was $9,952. And what they did was they put it to like something called tuition options, which was honestly the biggest blessing because it's like, I don't know, it's just like where they collect their money and there's no like interest rate. So that was really exciting for me because I'd rather not have an interest rate, right? So, and the FAFSA, the ED Financial one, has a interest rate of around 6%, if I'm not mistaken. And as of right now, that is the total, well, not as of right now. As of then, when I started looking at my finances, that was the totality of my debt. So the 15,500, whatever for Sally Mae, 16,000 for ED Financial, and almost 10,000 that I remained for the school. And that was all of my debt combined. So what happened is that we planned on tackling Sally Mae first. Me and my parents. My parents helped me with my finances. They're very financially savvy, so I'm really grateful for that. But they were helping me figure out like how the best way to tackle it. And my mom and my dad both agreed that we should tackle the one with the highest interest rate because that's the one that's going to accumulate the most money against you in the long run. So we were going to tackle Sally Mae. And so my parents, being the lovely, wonderful human beings they are, they actually gifted me $5,000 because they were so proud that I completed nursing school and they wanted to help me out with the Sally Mae loan. So they gifted me $5,000. And then the remainder of that, me and my mom were looking at banks and trying to figure out where would be a good idea to refinance. So we were looking at refinancing. Like I said, the interest rate for that one was 14%, which is incredibly high. I didn't realize it was high when I signed the paperwork for that, but it is insanely high. And so the plan for that was to refinance, like I said. So we were looking at different banks and we are talking about it over dinner one day. And what's it called? Well, actually, let me say. So my parents gave me that money, and so far I have paid off $750 was one payment. $1,150 was another payment that I made from my own paycheck, and then my employer, my hospital I work at, my employer actually has student loan repayment programs, and I qualify for the entire amount, which is $200 a month. So they contributed $200. To the Sally Mae one. So that left me with a remaining balance of $8,499. And so me and my mom were like, all right, let's see if we can refinance. So we were talking about it at dinner one day, and my dad was like, what are you guys talking about? And and we told him, oh, we're just gonna refinance the loan. He looks at my mom, he's like, why don't we just give her the $8,500 and she can just owe us the money instead of having to pay back, whatever lender it is. And both of us just went, that's genius. And I am so grateful. So I kind of looked at my mom and I was like, I don't mind that idea because they're not going to charge me interest. So that's the best case scenario. And so that's what we essentially agreed on. So as of right now, I think I only owe like $200 and $201 on the Sally Mae one because my employer already started processing the additional 200. I don't know if this is making any sense. Anyways, but yeah, so hopefully by the time that goes through, I'll only have to pay like $3 to Sally Mae, and then I will owe my parents the $8,500. So happy about that. This video is not making any sense. I'm sorry, I'm excited. So the idea was to pay back my parents first, right? And then like 2 weeks ago, if even, I get a call from the tuition option people, and those are the people that are like getting the money for the school that aren't charging me any interest. And they give me a call and they're basically saying like, if I pay a large lump sum of what I owe them, then they are willing to forgive almost $2,000 of that loan that of what I owe. I think it was like 1,800 or something like that. And so she basically told me like, oh, if you are willing to pay if you are willing to pay $8,000 within 2 months, then your school has agreed to forgive $1,800 of what you owe. And I was like, well, shoot. That sounds like a great idea. And so I talked it over with my parents. My dad thought it was a scam. He had me call and verify like with a different number. It's legit. And so I called them and I was like, you know what? I don't think I can commit to $8,000 in 2 months, but I think I can definitely commit to $8,000 in 3 months. How do you feel about that? And they were like, cool beans. So I'm going to start doing those payments soon. Next paycheck, I'm going to have the money for them to start doing that. That way I can knock out $1,800 of that part of the loan. And so I'll be done with that. And then I'll be paying. Look at how I don't know if you guys can see this. Look at how she's trying to fight me. All right, that's enough. Come on. So I'm going to be paying that part of what I owe first. And then I'll be paying the $8,500 that I owe my parents. And then the last one that I'm going to worry about is my ED financial one. And so that one is actually interesting because I owe $16,000 of that, but my employer was going to pay up to $12,000 of my student loans. The only thing is just going to be like a slower, oh my God, it's just going to be like a slower repayment. So they only pay $200 a month, but they go up to $12,000. And so my mom was like, well, why don't you just cut down that loan later? So 16,000 minus 12 is what, $4,000. So pay the $4,000 and then let your employer just start like nipping at it. And that way you won't ever have to, like, you're not responsible for that 12K. I hope I'm making sense right now. I'm so sorry. But that's basically what's going to happen. So once I pay off the tuition people, once I pay off my parents, I'll only pay $4,000 to ED Financial, and then my employer over the next 5 to 6 years is going to be paying off the additional $12,000 that I owe. So basically, once I finish paying off my parents and do my little $4,000, I'll be debt free because that's not my problem anymore unless I switch hospitals and then I'll have to pay it back. But that's not where we're going. Most likely, I'm just going to stay where I'm at. I like my hospital a lot. A lot. But yeah, so I really hope this video makes some kind of sense to somebody. I know I was talking really fast. I am going to start doing more budgeting videos, more specifically like monthly or like every 2 weeks, going through my paycheck so I can show you guys exactly how that's working. I clearly live at home with my parents, so I am so lucky that I do not have to pay a mortgage. I don't have to pay house insurance. I don't have to worry about any of that. I do pay for some of my own groceries just because sometimes what I want is not what my parents have. So I do purchase my own things if I do so require it. I do not have a car payment because I paid that girl off within 8 months. Hallelujah. When I first got her, I want to say 5-6 years ago. She is a 2017. I got her in 2018. Oh yeah, like 8 years ago at this point, 7-8 years ago. So she's been paid off. So I just pay $600 something a month a month, $600 something every 6 months for her insurance, and then just gas and other things. So I'm planning on being very frugal. Debt and like handling your finances once you're like educated and you decide to like take the plunge and do this for yourself is really interesting because it's like you just see like all the things and the dumb things, how you've wasted your money and like all the stupid things that you own, and you look at everything and you're just like, wow, this was once money once upon a time. And you're just like, wow, I would be in a better place if I didn't shop so much, if I didn't waste my money, if I didn't, spend so much money out in food, which I do love going out with. That's something that I'm probably not going to give up. I'm just going to do it much less. But anyways, this was a rambling intro to my debt video. I'm so sorry. But hopefully next time will be better. I'll be a little more structured. This was just like, let me just get this video out. You know what I mean? So thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait for you guys to follow my journey into a debt-free life. And oh my God, I am so sorry about this. But she's not giving up. So I hope you guys follow my journey into a debt-free life, and I hope you guys will share with me like your debt. I feel like $40,000 to some people is going to be a lot of money, and to me it's a lot of money. It's a scary amount of money because I would rather spend the $40,000 on literally anything else other than paying off my student loan debt. But at the end of the day, like I signed up for this. I agreed to pay it back eventually, and I'm going to keep my word. So that's going to get taken care of, and then we are going to be able to live our life debt-free. Hallelujah. So if you guys are interested in that journey, please follow, like, and subscribe, and let me know like how much debt are you in? Do you guys have any credit card debt? Do you have any car payments? Do you have a mortgage? Like what kind of debt are you in? Do you also have student loans? I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear how you tackled it or how you are planning on joining this journey with me. So can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.